So this next part, I'm going to kind of read through my phone. And so let me go to the topic 2. Queen Studios makes some waves. So recently Queen Studios was on another show. And I apologize, I don't remember which show it was. But somebody in one of the Facebook groups kind of did a recap. And so I thought I would kind of recap it for you guys of what they said. And I thought it'd be a good topic of conversation, some things that what Queen Studios said. So again, just please forgive me. These are just kind of updates as we get back into a little bit more statue content here for you guys. So the first big thing is they said that for the foreseeable future, they're going to be focusing on 1/3 scale and life-size busts. Good move, bad move. I mean, they had teased a lot of quarter scales. What do you guys think of that move? Do you think it's a smart move for them just going life size and 3rd scale for the foreseeable future?
Well, I'm intrigued that so many companies seem to be going high dollar.
Yep.
Seems weird.
Yeah, I'd love to understand the business intelligence behind what Jeff just described, because, 1/3 scale, 1/4 scale focus, is interesting to a point. But then when you layer on top the price point of the Iron Man piece, Chris, that you're looking at, you got to scratch your head and say, are there that many customers that are just going to pay, $2,000 to $2,500 per statue? I mean,
to me, it makes me wonder are they the only collectors buying overseas? Are they the only collectors, like the high dollar collectors? Are they the only ones left?
Well, if they're polling them, right? So if they're doing a good job of knowing their customers, right? They've got connection to their customers, and they're polling them in some way to understand what would you like to see, and that's the answer they're getting, then it makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just
they do send out polls. They do send out, questionnaires.
Yeah.
But that wasn't my choice.
Yeah. It also makes me wonder, like, again, they've teased a lot of quarter scale stuff. I mean, that's going to piss them off, especially if, you've already started planning, you've already bought a bunch of quarter scales, and now they might not do them. The ones that come to mind are like the Batman, those Ben Affleck, those were all teased to quarter scale. So I wonder if they'll still do them.
They put out that Loki with rooted hair and everything for over $1,000, and that was supposed to be like the first of their fancy quarter scale line, and I guess that's no longer.
Yeah,
maybe it comes down to like licensing issues, like if they don't have the license anymore.
It could be. I know
where
that
did the half scale go? The half scale's just.
I mean, that's the thing is they've done a couple of really great half scales. I mean, you have one, Jeff, and it's fantastic.
And it was close to the same price of the 1/3 scale Iron Man.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's crazy. By the way, we're at 184. So 184 people watching right now. Please hit the like button, guys, if you're enjoying the show. And again, if we get to 250 tonight, which we're creeping up there now, if we get to 250, I'm going to live pre-order that Iron Man that Jeff just spoke of. So anyway, let me read this. This next section is about the Terminator. They said the video that was leaked from the Queen's factory was their Arnold head being used with a company in North China who specializes in animatronics, basically showing Queen that it could be done. Queen wanted to pursue this for the future release and spoke to the licensor, to which they said it would require extra rights. So Queen are debating now whether or not to pursue it. If Queen does get the go-ahead, the animatronics will be added to the bust. Then there are two things to consider: the contract they have with the licensor and how they would factor in the extra licensing, and how could they upgrade it to the current orders that have been placed. I think that's the fine line. Is like, if people have already ordered it, you don't want to, this is not the time to change it. Like, unless it's going to be the exact same price point, but if you're saying, hey, collectors, we're going to add animatronics now and it's going to be another $1,000, you can't do that.
Right.
But did I miss something? Like, what animatronics are they talking about? Do you have any idea? Like,
there was a video out of that T800 bus that recently went up for pre-order, and the head was moving around.
You're kidding.
Looking up and down. Yeah.
No, that is terrifying.
Yeah.
Next will be sound effects will be next.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that would be a hard pass for me. That is way too creepy. Way too creepy. But it's interesting. Again, I just can't imagine them pursuing that further. But what do you guys think? Would you guys want something like that in your collection?
I can see a market for it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I think to me, it kind of falls in the same category as light ups.
Yeah.
I never use them. They're cool for when you first put the statue together. And then I just never use them. And usually, I don't know, light ups specifically are not usually for me cool enough to warrant having them on that much, with the exception. Well, one exception that comes to mind is Jeff Delaney's. Do you still have that Sideshow Iron Man, Jeff, with the cool light up face?
No, I sold that recently after I pre-ordered the Legendary Beast Iron Man.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, well, that's a great Iron Man, and that base looks, to me, night and day different when it's lit up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely connect that to some kind of Alexa device or something so that it's on with more frequency.
I think it's the same as that one I'm considering buying.
Yeah.
I think it's very, very similar. It's got that same effect, and it looks better lit up, I think.
Yep. For sure.
So since we're talking about Marvel, we'll move over to the Marvel section. This is what they said. They have the Marvel license for statues, as we know, but there was discussions with Marvel last year about figures, though, that will be a few years down the line when potential contracts may get renewed. Queen asked about producing comic and movie figures, but Marvel is focused on MCU statues specifically. So it doesn't sound like there's going to be any comic stuff from them anytime soon. The Marvel 1/3 scale line, which we were just talking about, the 4 characters you see on the poster, and we'll look at that when we look at photos. The 4 characters that you see will be the first ones made: Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, and Scarlet Witch. The plan is to make these out of silicone with rooted hair as well. They are in development now. Hulk 3D sculpt is done, just waiting to move onto the silicone step. Could you imagine how much that'll be? Because that's like an entire torso of silicone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be nuts. They've also been working on the Scarlet Witch head sculpt, and Thor is still in concept. So the others are unlikely to have any battle damage compared to the Iron Man Mark 7. So it sounds like there's just going to be one version of each one of those. So
it's interesting that they're starting with the character that doesn't require rooted hair or silicone.
That's very true. Well, maybe they're just trying to get people sold at the price. Like there's well, this one's $2,000, but when you see Hulk, it's $8,000. So good luck. They said Queen gets asked all the time about the Robert Downey Jr. portrait. Getting the rights for an RDJ head sculpt is extremely difficult, especially because he isn't in the MCU anymore. That's a great point. And maybe that's why it's so difficult. And Queen has been asking for years for it. So they hear everybody wanting that. And I think that would be awesome too, to have a life-size bust or something like that of him. But obviously it's very difficult to get the rights. They said they may come back to finishing the 1/4 scale line, but for right now it's 1/3. So again, for all the quarter scale collectors, I feel like that's kind of a little bit of an FU there. Considering they did tease a bunch of them already, but things do change. They also said regarding batteries, AC adapter, they received a lot of feedback, negative feedback regarding batteries. So now they are talking with the production team to find better solutions. They want to move away from batteries and move into USB, so that's good. As of Jeff Morris brought up half scale. There are still plans to continue the half scale Iron Man suits for next year. So still more Iron Man coming, but it looks like maybe everybody else, maybe not so much. Future Marvel pieces, they say Queen has been told that the Deadpool 3 movie is going to be epic. So their plans for next year would be around Deadpool. This is a potential for a Hugh Jackman Wolverine, although they aren't allowed to say much at this moment. The pictures everyone has seen online of Jackman in the yellow suit is probably likely the route they will take. Marvel and Disney want to reboot X-Men, being one of their big long-term plans, and that will open the door for Queen to pursue more X-Men. So again, obviously they're going to stick with the movie stuff, which is cool. They also addressed the Michael Jackson bust. Queen originally wanted to do the zombie version from Thriller, which I think would have been really cool, actually. But whoever was in charge of that license did not want it. They did not want that version at all. And Queen also didn't want to do the smile, but again, whoever the licensor was wanted the smile incorporated. And they said that they're about 90% happy with the way it is right now. So they feel like the face sculpt needs some work. So I think that sounds like they're going to maybe keep tweaking it. So if you are somebody that bought, I know like Fatal, the collector, mentioned on my post today that he bought it. So if they continue to improve it, that's great. That's great news for collectors. So I thought that was really cool. They mentioned Harry Potter. Queen has a prototype bus in their office. John wasn't sure about the release time and schedule. So again, some Harry Potter bus coming. Dark Knight trilogy. I thought this was interesting. The armory that was shown at Shanghai Wonderfest, they have set the limit to 40. Okay. I've heard that all in all, it's going to be around 1 ton.
Oh my God.
1 ton?
And get this, I don't know if you saw this or not, but apparently if you buy it, they will send somebody out to set it up.
How do you ship it though?
I can't even fathom.
Right? I mean,
well, they said it's like the same thing as like their Hulkbuster they did. You know, they did that giant Hulkbuster.
Right.
It's like
So it's the same. It's basically the same idea, but like logistically, how do you send out your own team to help set that up?
It would have to come in a huge crate, no forklift.
Yeah.
Well, what was it? $40,000.
Private carrier.
It says all the weapons in the armory are removable, made from polystone. The sticky bomb gun has actual function moving parts to it. And it says now that the designs for the armory have been done, there may be potential in the future to sell the weapons and items individually. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And they did address the fact that a lot of collectors, including myself, would like to see them do the bust with the cowl portrait. Which I think would just be really smart to offer that. And they said that they are weighing their options, whatever that ends up being. I don't know if that'll be a brush off, but I do think that there's a lot of potential sale opportunity with that. Do you guys agree with that? I mean, having a mass portrait?
100%.
Yeah. So anyway, that's I just wanted to relay that to everybody because I thought that was really interesting what John had said. Anything you guys want to discuss with that, or do you feel like anything you heard that was surprising?
No, not surprising. Glad to see they're doing something.
Yeah, I feel like they were real quiet this year overall. I mean, they did have some releases that came out, but just overall, I felt like they were kind of quiet. And we're starting to see stuff actually ship now. Like the Catwoman 3rd scale is finally shipping. Art Statue Collector, I want to give him a shout out. He just unboxed her the other day, and she looks great. Much bigger looking than we expected, and so I'm thrilled for anybody that has that one coming. And again, I'm just excited that they seem like they're back. You know, they seem like they're trying their hardest to get back and get caught up. So I'm happy for them. Sorry, somebody said something. I couldn't hear you. I
just said right.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. So that's that. I don't know if anybody, let's see. Oh yeah, you didn't mention how they said they've been trying to get the Star Wars every year so far, but haven't been able to get it yet, but they keep trying. That's a big license to get. And so it'll be interesting to see if they're able to do it. I think it would change the game for them.
That would be huge.
Yeah, I just think, and I'm kind of surprised because they already have the Marvel license, which is tied to Disney. So I'm surprised. And they've already proven to do some really amazing work with movie stuff. So I don't know. I don't know why Disney hasn't allowed that yet, but maybe someday we'll see.
Hey guys, thank you so very much for watching today. And if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button right here on the screen and check out these 2 awesome videos. I think you're going to love them. And also please join us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I would love to have you join in all the fun. Thank you guys so very much for watching. See you in the Batcave.